I usually recommend I give a skewer, like, that's
Mhm.
what I usually do, you pop the skewer in, but even before then, because if you open your oven too early and your cake isn't done, it may, collapse a little bit. So if you see that your cake it's tricky to kind of describe. If you see that your cake is like jelly like it's moving a little bit, because sometimes it looks cooked on the top, but on the inside it's still all gooey because it's still all cooking. So if you feel like just before you even open the oven, I know you shouldn't quite do it, but I kind of just give the oven a little bit of a tap or a tiny little shake. And if you see the cake wobble, that means no, it's definitely not ready. Don't open up the oven, otherwise your cake is going to, because you've let all the hot air out, it's going to escape away and it's going to kind of collapse a little bit on itself, making it a bit more dense, if that
Okay,
makes
so
sense.
just hip check your oven a little bit. Give it a little
Yeah,
bit of a hip
I
check.
do. I mean, cake decorators will probably hate me for saying that because even shaking the oven will probably, it's not a souffle, so it's not gonna freaking die on us, but, my oven's a stand kind of alone oven, and I can kind of shake it out. Even if you open the oven door just a little bit, that usually kind of garners, like, a little bit of movement,
Mhm.
and if you can see that it's just a little bit wobbly, just leave it in the oven for another 5 minutes. But yeah, usually I grab my skewer, I check it. If there's anything left on, like any crumbs or anything left on the skewer, it means it's not ready. But the mistake that people tend to make is like, oh yeah, another 10 minutes. No. Don't leave it for another 10 minutes, depending on if the skewer comes out really gooey. Yeah, maybe another 5, 10 minutes, but there's only a few crumbs kind of sticking to it. Give it another 1 or 2 minutes. Otherwise, it's just going to overcook and it's going to be dry. But
Ah.
another way that I test it, because sometimes, oh, I don't have a wooden skewer on me, is if you get your finger and you just kind of touch the top of the cake. If the cake sinks in on itself, that means it's not ready. But if it bounces back, if the cake bounces back when you press on it, that means it's all fully cooked through and you're good to take it out of the oven.